Are you tired of the traditional, time-consuming and expensive approach to starting a business? Do you want to create a successful company with a minimal investment of time and money? Then, the Lean Startup Method is for you. Join us on this exciting journey to learn about the innovative approach that has changed the game for entrepreneurs everywhere. Get ready to transform your ideas into realities, as we dive into the world of Lean Startup. In today's video we'll be discussing the key concepts and strategies from the book, The Lean Startup, by Eric Ries. This book has been a game-changer for entrepreneurs and startups, providing a practical approach to launching and growing successful businesses. In this video, we'll be summarizing the key takeaways from the book and giving you actionable steps that you can implement in your own startup journey. One of the key principles of the Lean Startup is the idea of validated learning. It refers to the process of obtaining reliable and empirical data to validate or invalidate a business hypothesis. The main goal of validated learning is to minimize the risk and uncertainty that comes with starting a new business by testing and refining ideas through experimentation. In the book, The Lean Startup, by Eric Ries, he emphasizes the importance of validated learning as a way to reduce the waste of time, money and resources that is often associated with traditional business practices. For example, in the book, Ries describes the story of a company that was developing a new product that was based on the assumption that people would use it for a specific purpose. However, after conducting customer interviews and launching a minimum viable product, MVP, the company discovered that its target customers had a different use case in mind. Through this validated learning process, the company was able to pivot its product strategy and ultimately create a product that was better aligned with customer needs. Another example from the book is the story of a company that wanted to launch an online education platform. Instead of building the entire platform and launching it to the market, the company used validated learning by creating a landing page that explained the concept and offering a sign-up option for future customers. Through analyzing the number of sign-ups and conducting customer interviews, the company was able to validate its hypothesis that there was a demand for its product. These examples show the power of validated learning in the Lean Startup method and how it can be used to validate or invalidate a business hypothesis before making a significant investment in product development. Validated learning is a key principle of the Lean Startup method, and it involves conducting small experiments to test assumptions about customers, markets, and product features. To apply this technique, here are some actionable steps that one can take. Identify your assumptions. Before you start any experiment, it's important to identify the assumptions you have about your target customers, market, or product. Write these down so that you have a clear understanding of what you're testing. Conduct small experiments. The idea behind validated learning is to run small experiments that will help you validate or invalidate your assumptions. This can be done through surveys, customer interviews, or even a minimum viable product, MVP. Measure the results. Once you've conducted your experiments, it's important to measure the results. This will help you determine whether your assumptions were correct or not. Keep in mind that the results should be quantitative, so you can use them to make data-driven decisions. Use the results to inform your next steps. Based on the results of your experiments, you should make decisions about what to do next. If your assumptions were correct, you can move forward with your product. If they were incorrect, you can pivot and make changes to your approach. Repeat the process. The beauty of validated learning is that it's an iterative process. You can repeat this process as many times as you need until you've validated all of your assumptions and have a solid understanding of your customers, market, and product. Build, measure, learn is a central principle in the Lean Startup approach. It refers to the process of continuously iterating on a product or service to improve it based on data and feedback. The idea is to minimize waste and risk by building a minimum viable product, MVP, testing it with customers, and using the feedback to make informed decisions on what features to keep, add, or discard. This process helps entrepreneurs make informed decisions about what to build next, rather than relying on guesses or assumptions. An example from the book is the story of a company that created a new online retailer for gourmet foods. They started by selling only a small selection of products and carefully measured customer feedback and sales to see what worked and what didn't. This helped the company make informed decisions about what products to keep and what to add to the product line. By constantly building, measuring, and learning, the company was able to quickly and efficiently iterate on their product and grow the business. Another example is the story of a company that created a social network for organizing local charity events. The company started by creating a simple MVP to test the idea and gather feedback from users. They then used the feedback to make improvements to the platform and add new features. Over time, the company continued to build, measure, and learn, allowing them to refine their product and grow the business. This approach of continuous iteration allowed the company to avoid making costly mistakes and allowed them to quickly adapt to changing customer needs. To apply this technique, here are some actionable steps that one can take. Identify a problem or a need in the market. Start by understanding the problem that your product or service aims to solve. Ask customers or potential customers about their needs and pain points. Create a minimum viable product, MVP. Use this information to create a minimum viable product that will solve the identified problem or meet the need. This MVP should have the bare minimum features necessary to validate your assumptions about the problem and the solution. Measure and collect data. Use the MVP to collect data from customers. This can be done through surveys, customer feedback, or by monitoring usage statistics. Analyze the data. Analyze the data you collect to determine whether your solution is actually solving the problem or meeting the need. Make changes and repeat. Based on the data you collect, make changes to your MVP. This may involve adding features, removing features, or completely pivoting your solution. Repeat this process until you have validated your assumptions and have a product that meets the needs of your customers. Continuously improve. Once you have validated your solution, continue to monitor and collect data on customer usage. Use this data to continuously improve your product and make sure it continues to meet the needs of your customers. Continuous deployment is a technique described in the book, The Lean Startup, which involves continuously delivering small changes to a product or service, and then using the feedback from customers to make further improvements. The idea is to constantly test and refine the product, rather than spending a long time developing a perfect version that may not meet customer needs. By continually delivering small improvements, companies can respond quickly to changing market conditions and customer preferences. For example, in the book, the author describes a company that used continuous deployment to improve their website. The company started by making small changes to the site, such as adding a new feature or changing the layout. They then measured the impact of these changes, and used the feedback from customers to make further improvements. Over time, the website became more user-friendly and effective at meeting the needs of customers. Continuous deployment is an important concept in the lean startup approach because it helps companies to continuously validate their assumptions about what customers want, and to quickly iterate and improve their product or service based on this feedback. By embracing a culture of continuous improvement, companies can stay ahead of the competition and achieve long-term success. To apply the continuous deployment technique from the lean startup, you can follow these actionable steps. Establish a deployment culture. Create a culture where everyone is committed to the goal of continuous deployment and understands the importance of releasing small, incremental improvements quickly. Automate deployment processes. Automate as much of the deployment process as possible to reduce the time and effort required to deploy new code. This will make it easier to quickly deploy new code and fix any problems that arise. Focus on small incremental improvements. Rather than trying to make big, sweeping changes all at once, focus on making small, incremental improvements to your product or process. This will make it easier to test new ideas and make changes as needed. Monitor metrics carefully. Pay close attention to key metrics like customer feedback, usage statistics, and error rates to understand how your deployment is impacting your users. Respond quickly to feedback. Use customer feedback to guide your development process and make changes as needed. If a particular change is not working as expected, don't be afraid to make changes quickly to fix the problem. Celebrate success. Make sure to acknowledge and celebrate successes along the way, both for your team and for your customers. This will help keep everyone motivated and focused on continuing to improve your product or process. Customer development is a key aspect of the lean startup methodology. It is the process of developing a deep understanding of the customer and their needs before building a product. The goal of customer development is to validate assumptions about the market, customer needs, and the problem the product is intended to solve. In the book, Eric Ries provides several detailed examples of how companies have successfully used customer development to validate their ideas and improve their product offerings. One example is of a company that was developing a new product aimed at helping people manage their finances. Through customer development, the company was able to identify that their target customers did not want a complex financial management tool. Instead, they found that customers preferred a simple, easy-to-use solution that could help them manage their finances on the go. Based on this feedback, the company pivoted their product development strategy and built a mobile app that was much more in line with customer needs. Another example from the book is of a company that was developing a new social networking platform. Through customer development, the company was able to identify that the biggest challenge facing users was finding people to connect with. To address this problem, the company focused on building features that help users discover and connect with other people on the platform. As a result of this focus on customer needs, the company was able to build a successful social networking platform that was widely adopted by users. These examples demonstrate the importance of customer development in the lean startup methodology. By taking the time to understand customer needs and validate assumptions, companies can create better products that are more likely to succeed in the market. To apply this technique, here are some actionable steps that one can take. Identify the target customer. Determine who your target customer is and their needs and pain points. This will help you tailor your product to their needs and increase the likelihood of success. Conduct customer discovery. This involves talking to potential customers to validate assumptions and gather information about their needs and desires. Conduct customer validation. This involves testing your product with a small group of customers to validate that it solves their problem and that they are willing to pay for it. Refine the product. Based on feedback from customers, make changes to your product to better meet their needs. Repeat the process. Continuously iterate through the build, measure, learn cycle to continuously improve your product and validate your assumptions. Build a minimum viable product, MVP. Create a minimal version of your product to test with customers and gather feedback. Measure customer engagement. Track metrics such as customer satisfaction, retention, and usage to measure the success of your product. Learn from customers. Use customer feedback to inform future iterations and make improvements to your product. Focus on solving the customer's problem. The ultimate goal of customer development is to validate that you are solving a real problem for your target customer. Keep this in mind as you go through each step of the process. The Lean Startup methodology provides a practical and actionable approach to launching and growing successful businesses. By focusing on validated learning, the build, measure, learn feedback loop, continuous deployment, and customer development, startups can increase their chances of success and avoid common pitfalls. Implement these strategies in your own startup journey and watch your business thrive. Thank you for watching this video on the key concepts and strategies from the Lean Startup by Eric Ries. We hope that you found it informative and actionable. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about the Lean Startup methodology, please leave a comment below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.